Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, March 24th, and I am exhausted. Yesterday had a pretty busy day. Not so busy, but I was working with a friend on my website trying to get that up and running, so I'm super excited about that. Mom was here. Many of you know she's 94. She has dementia. She decided to go upstairs in a room, put her pajamas on, and get ready for bed because it was about 8 o'clock. Then all of a sudden we hear this big thump, and I'm going, oh my God, what happened? She's upstairs slamming doors because she has sundowning. So in the evening she gets very frustrated and flustered and confused. But I knew I'm thinking she was okay. So let me go upstairs and check. So I go upstairs and check, and I don't see her. I see my bedroom light on. So I know she did go in there, probably was looking for me. I went in her room. I didn't see her. And I went in the TV room because sometimes she goes in there and sits on the couch in the dark. I don't know why, but she does. So I look in there and I don't see her. And I'm like, okay, Mom, where are you? And I hear whimpering. And I'm like, okay, she's whimpering. Something bad happened. So I flick the light on in the TV room and I see her feet hanging out on the side of the chair. So I have this chair, this big reclining chair next to the window, but pulled, like you could kind of walk around the chair and around the window. And I see her feet hanging out from over there. And I'm like, how did you get over there? She's on the floor. So I try to pick her up. And I could barely get her up. She was a little like disoriented. So I'm like, are you okay, Mom? What happened? And I kind of get her up. I'm like, got to get you off the floor. So I pull my hand out and my hand is filled with blood. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? What did you do? Why are you over here? And she said, I was looking for the bathroom. So that's part of the disease of dementia. They get very disoriented and confused as to where things are, their bedroom, the bathroom. And the bathroom is attached to her bedroom, so she really didn't need to come out of her room to go to the bathroom. But she did, and she fell, and she got the biggest laceration on her ear, like it split, almost went clear through. And I'm like, how in the world could that happen? She banged her head on the windowsill, got a big hematoma. I'm like, oh, so now I'm panicking. And I'm like, oh, God. So my girlfriend is downstairs in the office. So I run downstairs. I'm like, please, Colleen, please come upstairs and help me get Mommy off the floor. So we get her off the floor, and I'm just like, I don't know that I was in shock, but I'm just like, okay, so now what? Like, do I call 911? Do I get my neighbor next door who's a nurse? Do I get my other neighbor on the other side who's a doctor? And so I call my friend Gail, who's next door, who does come and stay with Mommy. She's the one that gives me my 4 hours, 3 days a week. So grateful for her. Thank you, Gail. I love you. And I call her. I'm like, are you home? She's like, no, I'm at work. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, what happened? She's like, I said, Mommy fell. So she rushes, leaves her job. Oh my, she's so awesome. She leaves her job. I'm like, no, don't leave. She leaves her job. She comes home. She's like, don't forget, you got, the neighbors across the street from you, that's a nurse, and the people next door. So go get the people. So I go get the people next door. And the husband is a doctor, so he comes over and he does the 1, 2, 3 check with Mommy. And, he says, she looks good. She knows where she is, but you need to take her to the hospital because I'm concerned with the hematoma. She needs a CAT scan and she needs some stitches. So, okay, so we get her up. Now, if you know anything about my mother, she's a very, very prideful woman. And she had on her pajamas, which were pink polka dot pajama pants and a pink top. And so we get her shoes on. She has these slipper socks on. She has her We get her shoes on and a little jacket because it's a little chilly at night here. And she begins to fuss. Where are you taking me in my pajamas? No, I can't go nowhere in my pajamas. I'm like, Mommy, we are not concerned with no pajamas right now. You are bleeding from your head. We got to get to the hospital. You don't understand how they treat old people in a hospital. I'm not going. I'm like, no, we're going. We're not making decisions. I'm making the decisions here, and we're going to the hospital. So Gail and I, my girlfriend, we get her in the car, and I commenced to taking her to the hospital. And oh boy, did I get the riot act. How dare you take me out of the house with my pajamas on, and what do people think about me? They're going to think I'm an alcoholic. I'm like, Ma, really? You're worried about that? You've never taken a drink in your life. You've never done drugs in your life. You never smoked in your life. Nobody's concerned about that now. And that's the least of my worries. My worry is that you are okay. In my head, I'm going, she fine because she fussing. So we get to the hospital. We check in, go through triage. We wait. And we wait. And we wait. Now we get to the hospital. I left the house at 9:05. We get to the hospital about 9:28. We finally get in the back where the doctor is about midnight. So you know she's over it. She don't want to get out the wheelchair. She don't want to put on a nightgown. She's upset she got on her pajamas. She doesn't even know why she's even at the hospital because she didn't do anything to her ear, and on and on and on. So lo and behold, the good news is they did a CAT scan. The CAT scan came out awesome. No brain tissue damage, just the swelling and a little bruise on the back. However, she had to get 4 stitches in her ear. And so we did the stitches. They wrap her head with the gauze wrap. That has to stay on for 24 to 48 hours so she doesn't get the cauliflower ear, which I never even heard of that. I'm like, what the heck is that? But they explain that's what wrestlers get, from wrestling. And if you don't take care of the ear, I guess it gets a growth around it. So we finally get everything together. We get out of the hospital at 2:45 in the morning. So now we're back in the car, and she commenced to going on about the pajamas and how dare I, and cursing. Now my mom can lay it down when it comes to cursing, and so I'm just grateful that my friend Carlene was over. I'm grateful that Gail left her job. I didn't want her to, but she did. And then she went back to work because she was doing a double shift. And I'm so grateful for my neighbors next door who are doctors to come and make sure that Mom was okay. And so everything ends well. However, she rips the gauze off her head in the car. I'm like, oh my God, Ma, stop touching everything. Don't take it off. We need that to stay on. And of course, it stung her ear, so she's upset about that. Finally, get her home, rewrap her, get her into bed, give her Tylenol, and goes to sleep. So this morning I go and get the gauze, some more, because I know this is going to be a trip all day, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, because she does not like anything on her head. She says she can't breathe with something on her head. I'm like, the breathing doesn't come from the head, but okay. So I'm praying nobody calls her. Lo and behold, because I wanted to stay asleep until I get back, because I got up about 8:30, run to the pharmacy to get the things that I needed for her. And my sister calls. Why? Pam, I love you, but why? She's checking on Mom, so that's all good. But you're waking her up, and I need her to be asleep until I get back so she doesn't wander around the house. So she doesn't get Mom, but she calls me on the cell phone. I talk to her. We're cracking up on the phone. I'm like, you called the house, didn't you? She's like, I did. I'm sorry. But she didn't answer. I'm like, well, hopefully the ringer was off and she's still sleeping. No. I get home and she's like, hello. I'm like, why are you up? We went to bed at 4 in the morning. You need to be asleep. Anyway, she's up. Rewrapped her. She's eating breakfast. She's fine. Thank God she's fine. So all is well, ends well. This is just the life of the caretaker, me, and dementia with mom. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. There'll be many more about a lot of things, but probably mainly about the funny things that mom and I go through. And I just really want to be a support for those of you that are going through the same thing. And we support each other because we definitely need it. Because you can't make this stuff up. Basically, you can't make this stuff up. It's like having a front row seat to a show. I used to say that when I worked for the police department. This is the best show on earth because you got the front row seat to everything. So the same thing with taking care of someone with dementia. You have the front row seat. Sometimes it's a comedy show. Sometimes it's a tearjerker. Sometimes it's an emotional high and low. But it's mom, and I love her. And so we're going to do what it does. We're going to do what we do and keep it moving. Thank you guys for listening. Talk to you soon. Have a great Sunday and stay blessed and be a blessing to someone.